From Denver 7, this is 7 News.
Still to come on 7 News Saturday morning. The holidays will be here before you know it. We have some expert tips to give you a jump start on your holiday light display.
3, 2, 1, lights.
It is hard to believe, but Christmas lights are already showing up in one Front Range town. The second annual Lighting of Downtown ceremony was held in Fort Collins last night. Thousands of strands of new energy-efficient LED lights illuminated historic downtown. It is the first of many holiday lighting events, of course, of the season. So with the holiday season almost upon us, it is definitely not too early to start thinking about your light display.
And joining this morning with some tips on making your home really stand out, do it safely, as well as Repp with the Associated Landscape Contractors of Colorado. And I was just thinking, as we looked at those pictures from Fort Collins, you probably kind of look at it with a whole different sense.
Yeah,
it's a lot of work.
You have a little different perspective as to what goes into it, what's maybe special about it.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. It takes quite a bit of time, but overall effect at the end of it, it's pretty appealing.
Well worth it. Yeah.
Well, we saw with the one in Fort Collins right there, they were using the LED lights. Is that what people are now using, or tell us the benefits or maybe the drawbacks?
No, it saves a little bit of energy, uses less. You can put more strands together, which is key too. Always follow the directions on the box. It'll let you know how many strands you can link together, and if you go over that, you do run a risk of causing a fire of some sort. But LED lights too, they, like I said, save a little bit of energy, and yeah.
So are there any new trends out this year? Anything that maybe you in particular like to utilize?
We like to do roof lines. That's a nice clean look. You go up along the top of the roof line. These pictures you're looking at here are trees there. We didn't do the roof line on this particular home, but we did mix some large lights with small lights, which gives a little bit more depth on a tree. You see the snow on the ground there too. It was tough to get the lights up last year before all that snow came down.
Yeah, we did have a tough season in so many ways, and you guys clearly have met.
That's it.
So my question is, though, how do you get the trees to look so nice? Because my poor husband tried it, and it did not look that nice.
On that particular home we were looking at, we actually rented a boom lift, and we did the trees from the top and spiraled them down. You also have guys on the ground with long poles walking around. It takes 3 people to do a tree. You kind of pass the light strand around.
And so who are your clients these days?
Mostly residentials, large residentials in Cherry Creek area, Greenwood Village. Yeah, real large homes where on a property you could do 10, 15, 20 trees as well as the roof line.
Do you find on some of those homes, is it kind of a competition between neighbors? Who has the better light display?
There's definitely some keeping up with the Joneses. Yeah. You do one home one year, and then the next year you're doing 2 homes side by side.
Do you have, and I know everybody's got their own taste, but just some general pointers for people who, every year do it, and they say it's nice, but maybe it could be better? Right,
yeah. And people hold on to lights they used from the year before, and then they purchase new lights as well. So eventually it's going to turn out to look like Clark Griswold's house. Pointers is try to keep things balanced. If you're going for a clean look, then you're going to want to separate the trees you use, keep the roof line nice and clean with some larger bulbs. That's a nice look. If you're going for this house has Christmas lights, you can go with floodlights, greens and reds shooting up on the house. White lights in the trees, give some contrast there. If you're going to light a tree, you could use white lights in the branches and red lights on the trunk, just to break it up a little bit.
So you can mix colors.
Oh yeah.
You shouldn't be afraid to do that.
No, don't be scared of anything. Blues, greens, reds, purples out there. There's quite a bit.
And then obviously the safety issue. One, putting them up, and then how much electricity they're using.
Big time. That's it. If you put too many strands together, you do run the risk of a fire. We hear about Christmas trees going up. Well, the same can be true of your house.
So, but you should be able to run them off of an outdoor power line, or how does that,
right?
Some of the concerns there.
Take an extension cord, one from the back, one from the front, run them out, and then branch your lights off of there, so you don't overload them. Don't try to put it all on one outlet. Make it look, 500 cords coming out of one outlet.
Is there a way to know? I mean, the packaging will probably.
The packaging on the back of every package will tell you do not connect more than, say, 3 strands together, and follow those. And that's 3 strands into one extension cord. So you can branch off of that as many times as you want, but don't put more than 3 strands together. You run the risk of breaking it. And if it's an overwhelming job and you think it's too much, you can go to ALCC.com and look up it's like Better Business Bureau for landscape companies.
Okay.
And you can find some qualified
And typically
people.
you guys Can you get it done in a day?
A day, yeah. Jobs range. If it's a couple trees in a roof line, it could go from a few $100s. If you're going to do 15, 20 trees as well as a roof line, it can go up to a few $1,000s.
All about.
Okay. Lights up.
Wow.
Okay.
Well, Rich, thanks so much.
You're welcome.
Sounds like we're going to have a pretty bright holiday season.
Yeah.
It's coming up.
For additional information, you can log on to denverchannel.com and click on that, as Steve said, the big red TV button.
Makes it much easier to find. We
Yes.
just recently added
Right.
that.